We're live.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Sam.
Well, we always go through this. It always feels it's morning here, but you're like well into your day. You've probably like created 4 empires by now.
I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys. Hi out there. Veronica, Cynthia, Ruby. Let's see who else is in here today. Everybody's here.
Oh, so the
Colleen.
YouTube crew's here. Like they get the comment starts early for the YouTube crew. That's cool.
Oh yeah. And they have a good time. Some of the YouTube crew shows up like 30 minutes early, and they have like their own little family dynamic, and they're so cool. I'm kind of jealous of the whole YouTube crew. Like I want to spend more time with them.
Like to mesh very close.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like see folks' walls because I feel like there's some folks in my community I've known for years now, and then everyone in the community also knows each other now for years now. So like I see their posts and everyone's commenting on each other's posts, and I'm like thinking about the other people who are the non-beaters that we're friends with on Facebook. They're like, who are these people commenting? Because we're like really good at this, like, like the whole Facebook thing and like actually being active with each other, and sometimes I think, what does everyone else see?
It's funny because I was thinking the exact same thing. I had somebody send me a friend request that I like know in real life the other day. And I mean, we're friends in real life, but we weren't Facebook friends yet, which I don't even really understand why, but whatever. And I do this thing where I go back to my Facebook page, like every time I friend somebody new, and I'm like looking at my own page and I'm like, what are they seeing? Like what's recent that they can see? Like I'm kind of self-stalking myself just to see what they see from their point of view.
I get it.
And like there'll be a picture that'll have like over 100 likes, and I think, wonder what this person thinks. Like they're like, I didn't even know she knew 100 people. Like who are these people?
I was like, those are our bead friends. Thank you.
Exactly. That's my family you don't know about.
Well, it's like when I did a concert last year that was live streamed.
Yeah.
All of the comments were folks were bead people.
Yeah.
Like, and people from the choir were like, who? I was like, people. Someone asked me, I was like, people are like, everyone knows you, like. Like everyone's asking about you. I was like, yeah, that's my bead fam.
Yep.
You don't mess with them, okay? Those are my people.
I love it. It's too cool. Hi. So Facebook is here now. Danielle is here. Hello, Danielle. Nicole is here. Peggy's here. Everybody's in the house. Everybody's here.
Hi, everyone.
Sharon said, did I miss a big announcement? Nope.
Not yet.
We're just letting everybody get here first.
It's the nice moment when the stream starts, when like theoretically no one's here, so we just chat. Or like you're like just in crowd, or like if you're here extra early. You never know what we'll talk about. We've talked about endless things this first 2 minutes of any stream.
Yep.
Sarah, did you have a wonderful time in Vegas?
I had so much fun. Let me tell you how much fun I had. Is this text message just happened this morning between Q and I. He's at work, and it says Vegas in February ? That gives us time to recover financially from the holidays. So we're already planning going back. That's how much fun we had. And like we were there for 4 days, but we still didn't have enough time to do all the things that we want to do. So yeah, we're already planning on going back because there's so much in Vegas that is just amazing. And we only got like just a tiny little taste of it. So
it's a good vacay when you start planning the next vacay during the vacay.
Yeah. And to the same place. Like not just like, oh, well, this place stinks, let's go somewhere else.
Right. You're like, we're coming back here.
Yeah, we were super impressed. It was we had a really good time. The only part that I did not particularly care for was the 6-hour layover in Denver, because we literally slept on the airport floor. It was terrible. But I mean, it was worth it to get where we were going. But that's just hard knocks travel, so. But
I've been there. I slept on a full night on the JFK floor They don't have couches. I checked the whole airport. No couches.
Yeah, we looked in Denver too, and they have like these really cool chairs, but there's only like 10 of them, and they were full because it was the middle of the night. So, you know, everybody that was there before us got those. So we slept on the floor. It was not fun.
Everyone, welcome. We're designating like Sarah's pages as the main pages today. So if you want the most active comment section, probably head on over to Sarah's YouTube channel or Sarah's Facebook page by searching Sara Lovecraft. I've been watching your stuff on YouTube these days because like I feel like it's very reliable. Like I always know that YouTube's going to work. I don't know. There's something about it that like, and also I think more people are on YouTube these days.
Yeah.
Something's going on.
I think, we're kind of missing out. Yeah, YouTube's got its own thing going on. And you know what's funny about YouTube is last night, my daughter came in here last night and I was watching a YouTube video and she was like, "What are you watching? That sounds like you." I said, "It is me. I'm teaching myself something." I forgot how to do something and I looked up one of my own videos. She was like, "You are such a weirdo."
That's amazing. Oh my God.
Teaching myself something.
I gotta get my YouTube view count up. Come on.
Exactly.
That is pretty amazing. Oh my gosh. We do have a fun announcement today that we will start today with, and then we have. Oh my God, we have a lot today, but like we have Sarah has a whole tutorial plan for today, featuring lovely beads from the shop, and I think should we share our news?
Yes. Yeah, but I'm gonna let you do it because you're in charge.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well, let's start with the things that it's not. We're not married. We're not pregnant. We're not moving to New York together. No,
I fully thought you were marrying Q the other day. We're like, "Sam, I have news." I was like, and she's like, I'm going on vacation. Like,
no, we don't do that here. Sam, I do have news. I'm going back to Vegas in February. Maybe we'll do it then. I don't know.
Okay, our news that we finally get to announce is that Sara Lovecraft is now an official designer for Sam's Bead Shop. Yay! Finally, it is here.
Everybody else in the comments is like, "Yeah, we knew that already." I mean, she just kind of is. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's what's so cool. We've been working together since March, April 2021. So like we're gonna come up on our 2-year anniversary very soon.
Yeah.
And it still has taken us this long to kind of figure out what we want to do together. And she said we're Facebook official.
Yep. Sam put a ring on it. Yeah.
No, it's so what's kind of cool about it is because it's just us, we get to decide what exactly it's going to be. And like, I don't know, every company operates differently. Obviously, Sarah and I have always done our own thing, so are going to get to do what we want, things that we think are exciting. And obviously for us, that just like, we really like collaborating as closely as we can. I've loved doing we did some kits recently where like I got to pick out some of the beads, and then Sarah did her.
What is this?
It's like a tornado. It's like a tornado of creativity. But like that's what makes me so happy, and we get to do anything we want now together. Obviously, Sarah still has her own business and shop. You'll still get her. She's still making kits. Her wonderful Feel for Good Friday kits. Like everything that you love is like still gonna be there. Hardware. Like Sarah still has her own thing. We're just adding to the buffet.
But are, and I love it because Kelly said that's a natural partnership, and I think that's why people are not necessarily going to be super surprised by this, because you and I work so well together anyway that it just made sense for both of us, and I think everybody else kind of realized that as well, because we just have really good chemistry, Sam.
No, it's like I like you or something.
I know, right?
So we already have 4 kind of event streams planned for this month, and then we'll kind of keep you in the loop as things evolve. But basically today is I guess we haven't even like named everything yet, but today Sarah's doing a tutorial using all beads from the shop that you can then find on tonight's live sale. So we kind of found a way to mix those a bit. Sarah's like, this was Sarah's idea. She's like, I should show more of the beads from the live sales, which is like where this initial dream came from, was like, I have so many dreams for the shop, and just of the creativity that we can do as a community. But like, I know that I have like a capacity, like I cannot do it all myself. I like, as much as I would like to think that I can,
you could.
I can't, and I also don't need to. Lovely.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair.
So part of the whole idea of this is just to like provide a whole lot more inspiration as part of Sam's Bead Shop. That we're just really going to try to bring a lot more ideas, techniques, classes, and just really try to grow all together. Even more. So like it felt like a partnership that made so much sense. I'm getting a little like nervous because I'm just like the good nervous energy, or like I don't know. It's something I've like always really wanted for the shop, and I just feel I'm very excited to kind of dive in. I texted Sarah yesterday. I was like, the train's starting.
Toot, let's go. It's funny because this is like officially, like it was said, like it's Facebook official, but Sam and I have been working on this for a while. This is not like as of today. Like we've already been planning like the whole month, like Sam said. So, you know, we've been just trying to keep a lid on it. And then Veronica asked me a question that I just want to pop in this really quickly. Veronica said, am I still working for Beadalon? So 100%. I always have my hands in everything. And Beadalon has been, they are the reason why I am where I am. And the relationship that I have with Beadalon will be from now until forever. So I'm always partnered with Beadalon. You'll still see me working with Beadalon stuff. And what's great about that is that Sam also has Beadalon stuff in the shop. So again, it was just kind of a natural fit for everything, just kind of came together, you know, perfectly. So I still have a wonderful relationship with them, and we'll continue to do all the things with Beadalon. And just like Sam said, not much is really changing. You're just going to get more of us, which is
right.
Better. More.
We're just kind of planning things out more. It's actually going to be probably, I don't know. I think it'll have a nice, I'm really looking forward to what's coming. So this month we have today, and then there's 3 more events. Let's see what we got. We have, of course, we're still going to do our like monthly bead box stream together. We have, and then Sarah's going to do 2 classes each month at the shop. So those are the 4 we came up with. It's 2 streams. These are the Sarah streams. We do tend to stream to all places, but this is a Sarah stream. We're doing 2 Sarah streams, and then we're going to do 2 streams at the shop for our Friday classes. And our goal with those is to really involve a lot of kits in those, because I think there's a really nice opportunity there. That we can, because I don't know. I feel like it worked so the last kits went so well. I was like, it just made sense. I was so floored by I still think about, I still have it right here on my desk. The amethyst is tangled up in my mess on my desk. And I absolutely love this necklace. Everyone remember this one?
Yes. That's one of my favorites. I was talking about
I love how this class came out.
Love that one so much.
There's more of that, more fun BD times. That's our dream together, and all ideas are welcome. We'll probably make a post if you have ideas, but we've got October planned out, and then we're going to get going on November. More announcements to come. Janice, I have an update for you there. So let's go ahead and jump into today's tutorial, and then we have lots to share today.
Yes, we do. We have so much and so much pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and get turned around. Sam, you just do the Sam thing.
I'm on
and
it.
Tell us about what's on my bead mat here. Hold on.
All right. We sent a pallet of goodies to Sarah.
Oh,
Actually, this pallet's by Rachel today because she curates a lot of the check glass in the shop. So these are some of the items that we've got coming up in tonight's live sale at the shop. Rachel picked out all these lovely blues, and a new kind of feature here are these Hex Seed Beads. They're a hexagon shape by Toho.
And they're so stinking pretty.
And yeah, and we picked out a bunch of colors of them, and I just am kind of obsessed to see how they're going to be as a spacer. So I asked Sarah a few weeks back, I was like, what do you think about these? Do you have any ideas for them? And she immediately thought of this bracelet idea. It's a multi-strand bracelet we're doing today, featuring the seed bead that has facets all the way around.
Yeah, so initially I was like, this should be a Danielle thing, which it should be. Danielle is going to do amazing things with these, but I got to tell you, I think it's really cool to use these in just a stringing project because of the facets that are on them. It is just like adding a little sparkly gemstone, or a crystal, and it's in seed bead form, which makes this one of those things that you can get so much life out of. You can use it in your seed bead projects, but you can also use it in stringing like I'm going to show you today. And it adds that facet. It's funny to me, the way beads are made, just that flat facet edge on something changes the entire way a bead flashes in the light. And so this bracelet is super sparkly, even though there's not really crystals involved here. And it's all about these gorgeous seed beads. Okay, so we're going to start out with some bead stringing wire. This is going to be a 3-strand, 3-to-1, 3-to-1. You're going to see how it all works out, but you're only going to need 2 pieces of bead stringing wire. The first piece of bead stringing wire that you need it to be double. And since everybody's bracelet sizes are going to be a little bit different, I started with a nice long piece. So I'm going to cut a 24-inch piece of bead stringing wire. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but we're actually going to fold that in half. So it really ends up being 2 kind of 12-inch pieces. You want to be sure you've got plenty of this to use for your wire guardian and your hardware and all of that. But you may not need a complete 24 inches. That may be a little overkill, but I just want to be sure. Okay. So I'm going to use a wire guardian, and I'm going to thread the wire guardian onto the end of my bead stringing wire. And then I'm going to move it to the center of this piece. And one of the things that I love about this project is this kind of demystifies multi-strand designs, because sometimes those can be kind of challenging if you don't really know how to manage all of your bead stringing wire and your crimping and all of that. So I hope this is going to be kind of helpful in that regard, other than just being a beautiful project. So I'm going to pull to get to the middle of my bead stringing wire. So I've moved my wire guardian right to the center. Now, if you're not going to use a wire guardian, all you're going to do is you're just going to fold your bead stringing wire over in the center. And the best way to do that without a wire guardian, to keep that nice loop, is to go ahead and do it either over a jump ring or over like the loop of your clasp. Okay, so that you've got a loop. You don't want to lose your loop, wire guardian or not. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a crimp tube, and I'm going to thread that on to both ends of my bead stringing wire. And what you want is you want a crimp tube that is big enough to accommodate 3 strands of your bead stringing wire. Now, I'm using a number 2 crimp tube, and let me show you my bead stringing wire. What did I do with that? On your Beadalon bead stringing wire, it'll tell you like what size findings you need. So with the 0.46 millimeter, which is the size of the bead stringing wire that I'm using, you can use either a number 1 crimp bead or a number 2 crimp tube. If you're going to use 3 strands in this number 2 crimp tube is going to accommodate it. The number 1 crimp bead will not. You're going to need to bump that up to a number 2 crimp bead. Okay, so a number 2 and a number 2. for 3 strands of 0.46. And you do kind of have to just play around with it a little bit depending on what the diameter is of your bead stringing wire. But this is a great place to start because usually the crimp tube will accommodate just a little bit more wire than the bead will.
That's so interesting. Because I've always used crimp tubes. I never considered, I don't think, yeah, I've just always used crimp tubes.
Yeah, I like the crimp tube better personally just because there's more surface area. It's a little bit easier to manage with the crimper tool.
Mm-hmm.
But some people prefer the bead because it's smaller and it really just kind of disappears into the design, which I feel the same way about the tubes. But you do have to take into consideration how many strands of bead stringing wire you're going to put through there. So you definitely need a bigger bead than you would a tube. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there for a second, okay? And I'm going to come back over here to my bead stringing wire, and I'm going to cut another piece of bead stringing wire that's about 12 inches. And we're kind of throwing some rules out the window today, and you'll see what I mean here in just a second.
Learn the rules, break the rules. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're going to take this single strand of bead stringing wire, and you can see how I've separated out my bead stringing wire already. So I've got one here and one here. I'm going to take this one and I want to put it towards the middle. And I just want to slide it up into that crimp tube about 1 inch. Okay. Now we've got a crimp. Now this is the part where we're breaking the rules because normally when you're crimping, you want your bead stringing wire to be separated inside your crimp tube, right? One on one side, one on the other. You bring the tooth of the crimper tool down and that further separates out your bead stringing wire. When you have more than one strand of bead stringing wire in your crimp, that's nearly impossible to do. I'm just being honest with you. That's very, very difficult to do. So I don't always succeed, but I try to keep 2 strands to one side. That would be my additional strand and one of the original strands, and then my other single strand to one side just for crimping. Now, it may not work out and one of them may kind of slip into the middle. It's okay. Like I said, we're breaking the rules today. You just do the best that you can. You still want a nice secure crimp, but you may not get both strands on one side of that tube. But you're I
was doing a 3-strand crimping project last week in the shop. Also having to break the rules. All right, here's the crucial moment of Sarah showing how to crimp. Let her go.
So that back notch, the one with the tooth, I really did the best that I could to keep 2 on one side and 1 on the other. Now, I can't promise what it looks like on the inside of that crimp tube, but for me, it looks pretty darn good. So now I'm going to take it and I'm going to treat it the exact same way I would any other crimp. I'm going to turn it sideways. I'm going to put it in that front notch and I'm going to give it a squeeze. Again, this is just going to make that crimp tube more compact. It's not really doing anything as far as the crimp is concerned, but you want to tug on this. You really want to give it a pull. And what you really want to pull on is that single strand that you just added, because you don't want that to slip free. You want to be sure that your crimp is secure. This strand that you added is good. Okay. Now you're going to come in with your cutter tool and you're going to trim that one off as close as you can possibly get it to your crimp tube. I pulled out my dud cutter tool. Okay. Now I couldn't get super close. You can still see the tiny little end. It doesn't matter. Once the whole thing is put together, you're never going to see that. Okay. Now another thing that kind of breaks my rules is the next step, and that's going to be adding a crimp cover. I don't generally add crimp covers unless I'm doing a multi-strand design because they become excuse me, because they what was I trying to say? I don't use the crimp covers. Generally, that cough just threw me off because they spin, right, on your bead string wire if they're not secure enough. But when it's a multi-strand design that we need to get down to a single, which is going to be way more important on the other end of this bracelet, I feel like the crimp cover really kind of helps to keep everything tidy. So I'm going to take a crimp cover. I'm going to find one that's more open. And I'm going to thread that over my crimp. And Again, this is another one of those things where if you will find the correct size, it will make a huge difference. You don't want to use a number 2 crimp tube and then use a size 6 crimp cover, because that's where all that extra movement is going to happen. That spinning of the crimp, or the crimp cover on your bead string wire, when it's too loose, is over time going to wear away that nylon coating on your bead string wire. And of course, that's eventually going to cause a breakage. Okay, so I've put that over all of those. Now, I like to use my Mighty Crimper tool, which is designed for larger crimps, like sizes 3 and 4 and up. I like to use this, the front notch, to close my crimp covers. It just really makes it easy. I don't have to worry about my pliers marking it up. I just give it a gentle squeeze and we're good to go. Now we have 3 strands. Okay, and they're
Sarah,
all.
how did you get that to close so perfectly?
Lots of
Like,
practice.
genuine question.
Lots and lots of practice.
I wonder if part of my issue is I do use my standard crimp tool to try to close it, and I wonder if it gives me grief that way.
I think so. I think the Mighty Crimper tool just, it fits so much better than trying to use the little curve in this one, where it's just not quite. You can see the daylight between the curve in the crimp and the bead itself, or I mean the tool and the bead. That little bit of daylight means the only thing that's touching this crimp are those 2 points on either side, and you may as well just be using your pliers for that. You know what I mean?
I think I'm getting a flashback to when I gave up on crimp covers. It was because of that issue.
All right, so now we've got 3 strands and we can bead these up however we want to. I'm going to do 1 strand at a time. So we've got a lot of just straight stringing here. I'm going to just pick a strand, any strand. And I'm going to start my pattern out. And my pattern is going to be one of these gorgeous gold hex seeds. I'm going to do a silver. Well, it's clear with that silver lining. And then another gold. Okay. Now, excuse me. I'm going to start with a color. And I'm going to let's do this beautiful kind of mauve color. This one's called Crystal Rose. So I've got a lot here. I'm going to dump out just a few more. So I'm going to do 9 of these. So there's 3. Six. And 9. All right, now I'm going to drop those down. You can see that flash on those is so pretty. So pretty. Okay, now I'm going to use a spacer bead here. I've got some of these spacer beads that I got from TierraCast, but you can use whatever spacer beads you want to. They don't have to be these. I'm going to thread on a spacer. And then I'm going to thread on one of these. Sam, tell us about these.
Ooh, yes. Okay, so these are a Baroque cut, also called a central cut. They're basically like a fancy check bead that is faceted all the way around in just the center part. So what that does is it kind of cuts away that lovely Picasso coating to reveal this really cool mixed glass on these ones. This, what colors? I forget. There's like a turquoise and something else mixed together on that glass there. Some like transparent green. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, so pretty.
Like a little ocean. Yeah, those are real. I've had those. Those are a restock at the shop we have coming up tonight that I'm really excited about because they're just like a beautiful check bead. So I'm so glad you featured it in this bracelet.
I took those off really quickly because I wanted to add another silver to the end of my color here. Just pop in another one of those on there. I completely forgot about. So let me put these back on and then I'll show you. All right, so that's what we've got so far. We've got gold, the silver lining clear gold. We've got 9 of that rose color, a silver, a spacer, one of the gorgeous check, and then another spacer. I'm going to do another one of those clear with the silver lining. And then I'm going to do another 9 of this rose color. Ooh.
I love that you mixed together the hex colors. I was curious if you were gonna gravitate towards like a single color in the final design. But I like that you also picked out like a feature color as well.
Yeah. I had to use them all because they're just so pretty. And you had them laid out in a picture before I had them in hand, and you were like, "Your pick." I can't pick. They're all beautiful. I can't pick. But I thought this rose was the perfect complement to these lotus beads with that beautiful rose centered. So pretty.
Oh, I love that.
All right, so now I did another 9 of the rosy color, and I'm gonna do, this is what we're considering the other end of our bracelet. So we want to finish this one. I'm sorry, this is not the end. This is our halfway point. It's the end of this side. Okay, I don't want to confuse anybody. I'm gonna do another one of the clear with the silver line. Then we're going to do our focal, and our focal, all 3 strands are actually going to go through this center of our bracelet. So what that's going to be is I'm going to do a spacer here of any variety. I got these from TierraCast. I'm going to use another one of those check beads. Oh, actually, I did that the wrong direction. Check first. Check first, then the spacer. Okay, and then one of these. Sam, what do you call that? Gorgeous.
We call these royal crowns in the shop.
Oh, they're so fabulous. So a royal crown.
It's like a vintage check shape that was brought back recently. And it took them a while to kind of figure it out again because I guess it's like really difficult to facet this type of bead. Each bead is a different shape, so it has to be faceted differently.
Yeah.
This one also has the facets in the center, but it's like a really specific type of cut there.
Yeah. They're so cool. Really, really.
And they're pretty, like they're a nice size. They're like 15 millimeter because they become a really cool focal option for check glass.
Oh yeah. All right, so that's our center. We're just going to repeat this that we did here on the other side of this. So the clear lined with that silver, and then 9 more of this rose color.
Wait till y'all see this turn into 3 strands. I hope you saw the preview image for the stream. Sarah had a photo of the bracelet. Did you take apart your bracelet, Sarah?
I did. You know I did. All right, so there's 9 of that rose color. We're gonna do, now we're down to the midway point of that. So we're doing a spacer, or wait, I'm sorry, a silver lined clear, a spacer, one of the smaller of the check glass. So not the crown, but the first ones we looked at, spacer, and then the clear with the silver lining. And then we're going to do another 9 of the pink.
Sarah, should I throw in one of our next announcements?
Yeah.
While Sarah's working on that, let me switch around for a quick second. So we have a few bonus things to announce today to kind of let you know what's coming up. So let me put on the screen. So we did number 1. We have completed. Number 2 is this gorgeous set that you see in the corner here. Is we actually are doing our first kit launch this Friday. So folks were asking about Sarah, people were asking if today's project was going to be a kit. but we didn't even think of that. We were just like trying to make some cool beads together.
Yeah.
We do have a kit coming up this week, so if you're interested in this set that I just put on the screen, you can actually go ahead and join the interest list for it for when we launch it this week. To do that, the easiest way by far is you can head to the Sam's Bead Shop app that is new. If you have not tried it, it's very fun. Sarah, have you downloaded the app yet?
Yes, I have. Yes.
So on the app homepage right now, you'll see that jewelry set. And if you click on it, let's see if you can get at the very bottom, it says add to waitlist. So just click that button and you'll be first in line for when the kit releases. Currently about half the kits are claimed by the waitlist. So now's a great chance to snag one of those. That class is on Friday at, what did we say? 6 o'clock your time?
Yeah, 6 o'clock Eastern.
We change it so many times. Right. 6 o'clock Eastern. That's 3 o'clock Pacific. And we might launch the kit before the class actually starts, like maybe as early as tomorrow. So definitely make sure you're on the wait list for that. That is announcement number 2. But now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
So when Sam was doing our announcements, I just finished off this strand and I finished it with the gold, the clear lined with the silver, and then the gold. And then I put a bead stopper on the end of this because I'm not ready to finish this off, but I definitely don't want to lose my beads while I'm working on the other 2 strands. So a bead stopper here. If you don't have one of these, you can just take one of these seed beads and you can use it as a stopper. So you're just going to thread it on and then pull it down a little bit. And then you're just going to loop your bead stringing wire back through it like this. Whoops. Yeah. Just like that. And you can use that as a stopper. That'll work as well. So don't feel like you got to go out and buy a bead stopper if you don't have one. You can just use a bead. It works just the same. But then I've come down here to start another strand, and I'm going to start a gold strand. So the gold strand starts out the exact same way that the other one started out. So gold, the clear with the silver lining, and then the gold. And then I'm doing 9 of the gold. So there's 3, 6, 9 of the gold. And then a silver. So I'm basically just repeating the same pattern here, just with a different color seed bead. So there's the silver. I'm going to do a spacer bead, one of the check, a spacer bead, and the silver lined clear. And then I'm going to do 9 more of the gold. And I'm actually going to have to dump some more of the gold out.
Did you wear any jewelry when you were in Vegas?
Just the like my regular things. It's funny because I packed extra jewelry, thinking, you know, that I would get all glitzed and glammed up. But it was so hot that extra jewelry just did not make sense. It was just too hot. So now I know better. I'm not about the extra jewelry in Vegas. It was just way too hot. But it's funny because the casino in the bottom of the hotel that we stayed in, so there's a clear line. Now what I'm going to do, I'll get back to Vegas here in just a second, but I want to show you. We've made it to the middle of the bracelet now. What I'm going to do very carefully is I'm going to thread this bead string wire through this whole focal that's on the pink strand. So I'm going to pick this up. That's why this bead stopper is super important, because you don't want to lose your beads while you're doing this. But this strand is going to go through the same beads that the other strand is on. But when we were in the hotel, in the casino, it was such an eclectic mix of people. So some people were dressed up like fancy. There were suits, there were sparkly dresses, and then there were people in their blue jeans. And then there were people that you could tell had been there for a very long time that were walking around in their pajamas. Like That was the mix of people in the casino. So like you didn't ever feel overdressed or underdressed because like there was already somebody that looked like you were looking, and so I didn't feel like I needed to get super dressed up. I knew that if I needed to go downstairs and play the slot machine in my pajamas, I totally could do it. It is a great place to get dressed up and get all sparkly, though, for no good reason. So should I feel like the next time I go that I need to just be sparkly and dressed up just for fun, I'm definitely going to do it. You don't have to have a reason to be sparkly and fabulous in Vegas. Like, that's just...
So you don't ever need a reason.
I know. But, you don't want to be overdressed somewhere. But this place, like, it covered all the bases. So you literally could be anybody you wanted to be.
I went and saw a show last night, and it's a Monday night show, and I wore my blue tux jacket because when else am I going to get to wear that jacket? And it was great. It was very fun.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, now we're to the middle of our second half of the bracelet, so you can see the strands came together here in the center. And then we came out and we're doing the second strand of this. We're just going to keep treating it like a second strand. So it's 3 strands, but they really are just kind of coming down into one. So it's a multi-strand design, but it kind of has single strand elements to it as well.
I like the fidget spinner bead in the center.
Yeah, me too. I love that.
I mean, I can't be the only one who plays with my jewelry when I wear it.
Oh, constantly.
If it spins, it will spin.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, if it spins, I will spin it.
All right, so 9 more of the gold.
I'm excited about this kit on Friday because we put a bunch of gemstones in this one.
Mm-hmm.
As one of our main focus. It has tiger eye, real turquoise, and that beautiful picture jasper focal.
It's so yummy.
And then with the leather and all the TierraCast, I'm just like, I'm very excited for it.
Yeah. All right, so I finished this strand off. Okay. So if you've got another bead stopper, you can use it. You can put them both on the same one if you want to. I like to put them both on the same one, just in a different groove there. Okay, so those 2 strands are done. We've got 1 more strand to go, and then I'm going to show you how to finish this off. And then we're going to do a really quick pair of earrings to go with this because we want this to be a full set. So we're going to start out again the exact same way. Now that I got to get a couple.
I forgot about the earrings.
Yeah, I got a couple of cute little earrings to go with this that are just super, super quick. So the gold, the clear with the silver lining, and the gold. And now this strand is going to be this beautiful crystal green teal lined. This is my favorite out of all of them. I do love the clear with the silver lining. Those are just like, that's a classic. You can't go wrong with those. But as far as color goes, this one's my favorite. Whoops. Just make a mess with those, but that's okay. All right. So 9 of these are going on. So Dee is asking about I think she's referring to the necklace project for Friday's show. Asked about the necklace length. So the necklace length on that is it's around 17 inches finished, which can be a little bit short, but you're going to be able to adjust it a little bit, and you can always add like extension chain to it if you want to. So it does have some flexibility as far as the length is concerned.
Did you have extra suede too when you were by chance?
I had a little bit left over, yeah. And you can definitely adjust your length with that. All right, so there's 9 of the teal. We're doing a silver lined, a spacer, the check, the spacer. Peggy says, no news on museum. What do y'all want to know? What do you want to know? That maybe a conversation for another day. Somebody asked earlier if Q went to the Haunted Museum with me, and yes, he did. So did JoJo. So yeah, we all three went into the museum. JoJo did not make it through the entire museum. I will say that.
But Q did?
Yeah, Q did. And Q did all of the VIP stuff because I paid for extra access to certain things. And JoJo opted out of all of the VIP stuff because he had a hard time. But Q did all of the things. I was so proud of him. He did all of it.
That is very impressive for a fellow
who's afraid of everything.
Liker of horror things.
There was even a part where you crawl through a tunnel that goes from one room of the museum to another in pitch black. And of course, we're in a crowd of 12 people, and I'm like the first one to be like, I'll do it. And Q looks at me like, are you kidding me? Because he's like, well, if you do it, I have to do it. So he did it though. He did it.
So cute.
Yeah, he did a really good job. All right, so we've made it to our center. Now we again are going to go through these center beads here. Now it's become a little bit more of a tight squeeze, so you do have to be a little bit more careful, but the bead string and wire will fit through all of these beads. You just want to go slow, and obviously don't force anything because then you're going to create like a traffic jam inside your beads, and you don't want that. The answer to the most asked question about the museum, no, I did not see Zach Bagans in person. Okay. However, two of his cars were parked there. And and he just lives right down the road from the museum. So he wasn't far. But I didn't crazy stalk him or anything. But the museum is a place where you're not allowed to take pictures inside. You can take pictures in the lobby, which I did, and you can take pictures of the outside, but you cannot take pictures of anything on the inside. That's why there aren't any.
They gotta maintain their secrets in there.
Yeah, well, and a lot of the things, I mean, it's like a real museum. So a lot of the things that are in there are very old. And like the flash, I don't know, if somebody was using a flash on something, they treat it the same way they would other museums. They really just don't want you, they don't want you taking pictures of things and getting too close to stuff. And there was a lot of things you couldn't touch, but you could get close to. I saw some pretty amazing things though, that I never in a million years thought that I would ever get to experience. So I will go again for sure. I don't know that Q would go again, but I will go again. I know JoJo will not go again. I didn't think JoJo was going to ever speak to me again after that.
Who's JoJo?
So JoJo is our bestie. JoJo is Q's best friend, but JoJo has very quickly become one of my best friends as well. And he's also my son's best friend. So we all kind of share JoJo.
I love that.
Yeah. And JoJo he's with us a lot. He and Q work together. So they what's it called? What was it called when you ride together for work? They carpool together. That's the word I was looking for. They carpool in the morning. Yeah. So they're together all the time anyway. And so Q and JoJo's just kind of become kind of a permanent fixture in our lives. And I'm not mad about it. He's good people. But he went to Vegas with us, and he's more of a scaredy cat than Q is, which is really funny. Needless to say, my son was mad because we all went and he didn't go. My son didn't get to go. So he was like, you're taking my best friend away. You're taking my mom away. The dogs are at the boarding place. Like, you've left me here by myself.
Oh,
I know. He gets to go with us in February, though. So I don't know. I'm just waiting on him to turn 21 because there's so much in Vegas you can do.
Yeah, I went to Vegas years and years back before I was of legal age, and there is not enough to do. It is worth wait. I think it's worth waiting.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, you can't even go. I mean, you can be in the casino, but you can't even be near any of the games if you're not 21.
Yeah, my sister and I, we spent the whole time like in the arcade, which was fun for like a day.
Yeah.
And then it didn't.
But just a day.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give announcement number 2, or I guess number 3.
Okay.
So everyone is gonna be super in the loop today. Like you're getting all the updates. So here is, if we're going to number 3 now, I get to announce our first SBS Sam's Bead Shop competition, to which Sara is taking part in November.
Yeah.
We're calling it the top secret Sam's Bead Shop competition.
Top secret.
It's very secretive. So so what makes this very secret is that anyone can get the kit for this competition, but everyone has to promise not to spoil what is in the box to our designers. So we've got Danielle, Sara, and Tracy Proctor are going head to head in our first competition for the shop. And Tracy, what is that laugh?
Because the competition is so like I'm gonna have to be sick that day or something. Like I can't even compete with the two of them. Like,
you're gonna do amazing. And obviously, you know the vibes of the shop. We're all just gonna be like chilling out and like.
I know, but still, like the pressure. My gosh.
So, if you can keep things classified, folks, you can pick up your own box starting today. So here's how that works. I mean, this just to give you another thing to keep track of today. So we are doing a little experiment, and the box is available through the Bead Box website because it is a pre-order. So if you would like to get a competition kit for fall 2022, you're good. This is not the Sam's Bead Shop app. This is just samsbeadbox.com. I couldn't put in the app as easily. So if you know if some of you probably have accounts on the Beadbox website already, log into your account first. And then if you go to the menu, you'll see a new tab that says bonus boxes, that third one. So if you click that, it'll take you right to the page where you can order the competition kit. And we have a little sneak peek of just a couple of the items that are in the box. That's all you're going to know ahead of time, is that it has some amethyst, it has some of the new TierraCast woodlands in it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yes, it is. I can't. I'm excited. I pretend like I'm not going to be there, but you know I will be, and I'm going to have my game face on.
So Sara, Danielle, Tracy are going to be competing, but then anyone can't. You are going to have the box. You can have the box and make your own designs with it and submit it as well. So we're going to have a community member winner as well as a design champion. We're going to have 2 champions from this competition. So that pre-order starts today, and we start shipping that on October 31st. Just a couple weeks ahead of the November 18th competition. So usually with the competitions like that you see with the bead companies, like you can't usually get the kit. But Rachel and I thought it would be fun if anyone could get the kit. So you could, if you want to, you could like literally show up to competition day and make along if you want. You do get more than an hour as a community member.
Obviously.
But if you kind of want to be able to join in the action, get the box and join in. Let's see. Someone said they can't find it. So I know I know I told you folks go to the app for the kit. This is the competition kit is basically considered a box as part of Sam's Bead Box, but it's not a monthly box. It's its own like one-off box. So you do need to go to samsbeadbox.com and you'll find the bonus box section on the website, and that's where the competition kit pre-order is. So I hope there are enough to go around for everyone. It's a pretty affordable box. You get $35 of beads, and right now we have it on a $29 like early bird discount. So you can snag yours. Somehow folks already were snagging them last night when Rachel and I like made the page. I don't know how you guys even knew it was happening.
Wow.
You guys really pay attention. All right, that's announcement number 3. Thank you.
All right, so I brought all of my strands together here, and I thread a crimp tube on, and we crimped just like we did before, where we needed to keep 2 strands together and one on the other just to try to crimp, right, to keep them separated in the crimp tube as much as we can. Now what we need is we need to cut these off because we only need one of these strands to finish with. So pick a strand, any strand, it doesn't make any difference. I try to pick the strand that is sitting in the middle more than the rest of them, if there even is one of those, but just pick a strand. And then you're going to come in with your cutter tool and you're going to trim off the other 2. So you definitely want to be sure that you got a nice good crimp on that. And then you're going to come in with your cutter and trim off the 2 strands that you're not going to use. Okay. Now, before we move forward though, I do want to bring in the crimp cover. Place the crimp cover over that crimp tube. And then we're going to use the Mighty Crimper tool to close that. Okay. Now we're down to just a single strand. So we've taken 3 strands and turned it into 1. Okay. So now we're going to do just like we would if we were crimping a single strand project. We're going to thread on another crimp and our wire guardian, and we're just going to proceed like normal here. Now you can add another crimp cover to this crimp if you want to, or you can leave it. Totally up to you. I'm actually going to put another crimp cover on this, so this end of the bracelet will have 2 crimp covers. It just looks like 2 sparkly little silver beads. But treating this crimp the same way I would any of them. So, you know, making sure your wires are not crossing inside there. Going to put that into the back notch, give it a squeeze. You turn it sideways, put it into the front notch and give it a squeeze. And then you're going to come in with your cutter and trim off the excess. And if you choose to put a crimp cover over this one, now's the time to do that. Some of my crimp covers have gotten closed where they were all crowded together in a container. And so they don't like to slide over my crimps very well. If that happens, you can use your flat nose pliers to try to get in there and then open if you can. Sometimes it just needs a little extra help to widen that opening. And even then can be kind of tricky. So there was a question I wanted to address here in just a second about the beads being crowded. I'm going to go ahead and close this first. All right, so we finished off that end. We've got our 2 finished ends. Now we just need our hardware, but I wanted to talk about this question. So somebody asked, these 3 beads in the middle of each strand, are they not competing for space? Not really. For me, I like the look of it like that because it definitely sets, what it does is it makes all 3 strands set apart from each other. You can see how it forces the 3 strands to separate because these beads are big. They're touching each other. However, if you don't like the look of that, you definitely can stagger your center beads if you want to and put them in 3 different places. And then that way it doesn't do that. It will just lay differently. It's totally up to you. That's just design preference.
I kind of like that it becomes a more medium size.
Yeah.
Focal. Almost, yeah, I'm also very curious how it lays once you put it in that shape.
All right, so
that works great.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it looks good, but I mean, it's totally up to, some people don't like that. And this is also a cluster that's going to sit in a different spot. So like your focal is going to sit in the center of your wrist. Obviously your bracelet's going to move around on you, but some people don't like to have heavy things on either side of their wrist here. Particularly people who do typing a lot, these can kind of slip to the underneath side of your wrist. You might want to skip those, you know, and just use these as something else, or make a completely different bracelet out of those if you wanted to. It really is just kind of about your wearability with your jewelry, you know. So we're gonna do 2 jump rings here. And we're going to use one of these gorgeous clasps. You want to talk about this amazing clasp? It's so pretty.
Sure. So I'm a full convert at this point to magnetic clasps, especially for bracelets.
Oh yeah.
Because I just simply cannot do. I can't get the other ones on without curse words.
Yep.
Or as Sarah calls them, sentence enhancers. So I've like my go-to magnetic clasp these days has been that like nice simple hammer tone one. But this is actually the first one I ever got for the shop. It's their Lotus magnetic clasp.
So
and it's a really smart design because it has 2 kind of precautions to keep it in place. Yeah. It has that like rim that kind of helps keep it all together and in line. So it's like really secure. It's like a little bit one extra step to take it on and off, which actually so it's pretty darn secure clasp. If you're looking for one that's like a little bit easier, I would try out the simple hammer tone ones we have in the shop. But this one is so nice for, I don't know, I like that it looks like a bead, so it becomes like part of the design.
So I'm doing a dangle because I'm all about adding a dangle. You don't have to. I just put a seed bead and one of these gorgeous coin lotus beads onto a head pin. I'm doing a wrapped loop. And then I'm going to add that to a jump ring and add it to the back of my bracelet back here to one of these jump rings. Again, you don't have to do this. This is, again, one of those things where people who type don't like to have the charms at the back of their bracelets, and you don't have to do this part for that reason, or just because you don't like it. I mean, whatever. But I'm forever adding like a little extra movement to my jewelry. So this guy is going to go on a smaller jump ring, and then I'm going to add that jump ring to the jump ring that I've added here already. And then I'm going to whip up a really quick pair of earrings to match this, to tie this whole lotus thing together. Because I know we've got the lotus and the clasp, and then I added the lotus dangle to the bracelet, and then just can't not do a quick little pair of earrings. Look at those drops. I'm so in love with these drops. I can't even begin to tell you. And they don't even begin to translate as beautifully over my iPad as they are in person. They look like candy.
I love those so much. I am with you on those.
They're absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to use like a 4-inch piece of 22 gauge German style wire. And I'm going to thread that. These are drilled across the top, so we're going to treat it like a briolet. I'm going to thread it on, not to the center. Okay, so I'm still towards the end here. I've got several inches on this side and like 2 inches over here on this side. Take the wire and I'm going to bend, and you're going to just bend along the natural curve of the top of the bead. Flip over, take the other side of the wire and do the same thing. When you do that, they're going to crisscross to make like a little triangle over the top of your bead. I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers, the longest piece of wire. I'm going to bend it straight up and down. So that's my center. And then my shorter piece, I'm going to bend it out this direction. And what I end up with is like an L shape here. Okay. I like to use my bent chain nose pliers to hold on to that little triangle shape. And then I can take my shorter wire and wrap around the longer wire about 3 times. And then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and trim off that excess. Okay, now I'm going to thread on one of these lotus coins. And then I'm just going to do a wrapped loop on the top of that and add my ear wire. So these are super easy peasy, really quick little earrings, but make such a cute little set. We spent a lot of time on the bracelet. The bracelet is definitely the star, but wanted to have a little something extra to go with these. So up and over the round nose pliers, and I'm going to rotate those so that I can take the wire over to the other side to close up that loop. And then I'm going to wire wrap in the space between the loop and the top of our Lotus bead. And then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, trim off the excess. I'm going to tidy that up a little bit with my pliers. Tuck in the end. And add our ear wire to it. And these are done. So super easy on the earrings. If you wanted to, you could add more beads to these. You could add some seed beads, like a seed bead to the top and the bottom if you wanted to add a little extra, kind of like what I did down here on the little charm. But there you go. That is it. And my favorite part of this is that I still have all these seed beads left over that I can do something else with.
There's something about the simplicity of those earrings that works really nicely, Sarah.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's like the translucent glass and that you've just let them be like at the bottom there, that they're going to be the most noticeable bead. Yeah. Kind of like a little bit away from the hair for most folks, probably. Like you're really going to get to see that color.
Yeah, I don't want to overdo it with the earrings because sometimes when you've got a beautiful bead, you just let the bead do the talking. You know, you don't have to overcomplicate sometimes when you've got something just so pretty. And that's true with all of these beads here. I mean, we put together a great bracelet, but truthfully, if you wanted to do 3 individual strands of this bracelet and wear them singularly, they would still be gorgeous. I mean, because the beads are what make this so pretty. They would be a really pretty single strand bracelet. And then that's smart. That's interesting because I did some memory wire where I did like, instead of doing multi-strand memory wire, I just did like 3 single strand. And it became more helpful than I thought because certain outfits, I only wanted certain colors. Exactly. Yeah. And then some days you want all of it. Yep. Yeah, and with this one, if you wanted to, you could even do a 4th strand with the silver lined clear. And if you did them all separately, you could do then you could really mix and match. You could do your blues and your pink together, or your blue and your silver, or your gold all by itself. Like you really could kind of mix it all up, or you could put it all on the same bracelet and just, be extra, because I'm all about being extra. I think this is such a nice, I love this idea of just because I feel like it can translate so well to pretty much any beads you have in your stash. It's cool to see how well this design elevates the different elements because it's such a nice contrast of sizes, I think, in this design. And then I'm also curious about like what color combos I want to do because we have this hex beads in 10 colors. That's only 4 of them. So now I'm like, wait, what else? I need to come up with another color combo. Yeah, the hex beads are extra special. I mean, they really are. I will be the first to tell you that seed beads are not my favorite thing in the world. Just because I lose them, they commingle. But when there are special ones like these, like you can't not love a good seed bead like that. The silver lined are always my favorite, but like I said, I do love this teal color. This pink is magical because it's like more of a mauve. It works as a pink. It also works as a purple, but it has that flash of blue in it. So you really can mix it with just about everything. But spacers, these are going to make amazing spacers because they're like little crystals with those facets on them, That's the main reason I got them. I was like, it's so nice to have more spacer options. I like my spacers, Sarah. Oh yeah. So like initially when I saw that, like I would initially just thought like, okay, just a single strand. And like, I mean, like think of like the minimalist jewelry that's so popular, especially like I think in younger age groups right now. Yeah. Like a single strand, often like of a gemstone or like a glass bead. Yeah. And then maybe like a pendant, a charm. Like how lovely that would be. You wear a lot of chains too, like kind of that style with just like a little accent pieces. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I wear a lot of chains, but I do like to add an element of color. And I'm like you, that simple because it's so easy to layer and it's a great way to add a little pop of color. Definitely. I think that layered look is never going to go out of style. That's just kind of classic jewelry. But check out the earrings. Aren't they cute? But it's all pretty.
they're so I was like, oh, they're so bright on Sarah. They're like
It's such a contrast to this crazy raspberry red. But yeah, they're so pretty. They really, really are. And that drop bead, it has this magical kind of shimmer to it that is just beautiful.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, they're so pretty. And then
thanks for putting all that together, Sarah. It's so cool to actually see some of the live sale beads like in action already.
I know, and I love this idea. So I hope we do more of this, because I think it's a great way to really show everything, like all the possibilities. Because sometimes people buy the beads, and I'm 100% guilty of this. I have gotten beads from your shop that are still in the bags. Like, I just have them because I love them, but like I really do need like a little of inspiration. So anybody who feels that way, it's like one thing to buy a beautiful bead. It's a totally different thing to know what to do with it when you get it home. So hopefully we're giving everybody some inspiration here.
Yeah, no, I think this is, I mean, I'm inspired seeing the beads kind of come to life. Rachel and I love creating these palettes, and we have ideas for them, but then now I get to actually see like a whole bracelet that I love. I'm very happy. So thank you. I really appreciate it, Sarah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun. I love it. I think everybody else has enjoyed it as well. And all the education that goes in the middle of it. Hey, I'm teaching you something, even though you don't even realize it. That's my favorite.
Heck yeah. Okay, let me just pull up our announcements for today. So make sure we've covered our bases. It's just kind of number 4 we've kind of mentioned is that we've got our live sale tonight. So all the beads that Sarah showed today, maybe not some of the TierraCast spacers, though. It's so funny you grab those. I just grabbed other TierraCast spacers from them recently because I didn't realize how many cool spacers they had.
Yeah, they've got a lot to choose from. It's hard to pick.
I know. So I picked out like 5 of my favorite spacers. Now I have to get the rest, clearly, because I like the ones you used today. But today you'll find all the beads Sarah used, all the hex beads. And if you haven't tried it, come to a sale at the shop. They were like a lot of fun. Come hang out. A lot of folks will just kind of make jewelry while you watch. We just chat beads. You never know what'll happen on a stream. I often put things on sale just for fun for folks who are joining the streams. That's at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're in the middle time zones, I'm sure you're good at that math by now. I am not.
Nope.
And other than that, don't forget about all the other things we talked about. So that would be joining the waitlist for Sarah and I's kit that she's teaching on Friday. So Sarah's still doing her Feel Good Friday show in the morning. So you're going to get Sarah's doing a whole set of kits. And then we're doing, it's one kit. That's a Sam's Bead Shop kit. That's a necklace, earrings, and bracelet with all the stones we talked about and all the TierraCast findings, including, did I tell you that the ear wires are niobium ear wires from TierraCast? Like, they're top selling ear wires. That they're hypoallergenic. They're very fancy.
And they're so comfortable.
Okay, you tried them?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
They're super comfortable. Yeah.
So that kit's coming on Friday. Join that waitlist in the Sam's Bead Shop app. And then we also announced the competition, which Sarah is one of our 3 competitors in November. So if you want to have your own competition kit, as long as you keep it classified,
don't tell me.
Sarah. You can go ahead and pick one of those up at samsbeadbox.com because it's a little bonus box. We're still doing our monthly box. There'll still be a October box. There'll still be a November box. But this is a little bonus box that you can find over there. I think that's everything. I hope that felt clear. I did my best.
You nailed it. You got all of it done. I would have left out at least 3 things. So you did perfect.
And Sarah taught a whole neck bracelet earrings today. So not bad for our first official stream together.
Yes, we did pretty good, I think.
We promise future ones won't have nearly as many announcements, but we just really wanted to get the ball rolling on some stuff.
Yeah.
Because we just want to do all the fun things together and wanted to do it with all of you. And we got to get it going sometime. So
exactly.
Today's the day.
Yep. Today's the day.
Speaking of the October box, I actually have to go to the post office now and drop off the October box. So
exciting. So
I got to go. I have a sign off. What are you up to today, Sarah?
So for the rest of the day today, I'm going to do a little housekeeping around here. Got some orders to pack and ship out. And then Hardwired meets today at 5 p.m. Eastern time. We're doing wire wrapped cabochon pumpkins.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's such a good project. It's such a good project.
I have thoughts about this project. I don't know if you can tell. Everybody loves this project. I'm probably the only person in the whole world who doesn't. And it's because it stresses me out to no end. But the end results are so good. So Hardwire, y'all are going to get to see me in full action today because
wow.
Yeah. It's
spooky season.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the spooky season this year. I already ordered my costume for our live at the end of the month. So
I was thinking today when I was putting my makeup on, I was like, what am I going to wear for our show? What am I going to wear? But I think I've got it figured out. So yeah,
I'll see you then.
Yeah,
I think Sarah and I's October show is a Friday, which I think is like a 28th. So if you don't want to miss our Halloween spectacular, we'll figure out how we're going to make it spectacular, but we are dressing up, so it's going to be spectacular.
Absolutely.
That's the Friday class at Sam's Bead Shop that you can mark down the 28th.
Yeah.
Because then Halloween's on like a Monday this year.
Yeah, which is weird, but that means that you get the whole weekend before that to celebrate and do things.
This is true.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to
pumpkin patch and all those things, all those fun things.
Oh, my favorite season.
Mine too.
I just bought all my blankets at Costco. I'm ready to go.
Yes, I had my pumpkin coffee this morning for breakfast. Yeah, I'm so ready.
Pumpkin bagels at Trader Joe's.
Yum, yes.
I sprinkle a little like butter and cinnamon sugar on them.
Oh my, yeah, I have to go do that right now. Go put that food goes in here right now.
Well, this was so much fun. Thank you for a little extra long live today, Sarah. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sam. Everybody, don't forget to come back on Friday for Feel Good Friday show. Like Sam and I said, not much is changing. You're just getting more. So
yeah,
same schedule.
So yeah, definitely don't forget to check out Sarah's Etsy shop on Friday. Because when do the kits launch for Feel Good Friday?
So the kits usually launch like 5 minutes before the live. Like,
oh, wow.
Right before. But here's the thing. Since I've been doing that, people buy things up in those 5 minutes before the show. So sometimes there'll only be 3 of something left when the show actually starts. So if you want to shop early, you've got about 5, maybe 10 minutes before the live to grab them up. Yeah.
Nice. I'm excited to see what you come up with this week. It's always like it's a fun little surprise. And sometimes we see all the Danielle beads and the Sam beads pop in there. It's very fun.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, I have no idea what the kits are going to be this week. So we'll both be surprised.
What? I feel like you have lots of beads to play with. So I'm not worried.
Yeah, no worries. I got lots of inspiration. So yeah.
All right. Have a great day, Sarah.
You too, Sam. Thank you, everybody out there. We'll see you soon. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.